let's just reflect first of all on the press conference that we
Yeah.
just had. Obviously, you're bringing this massive Paul Daley, Rory McDonald fight to London.
Sure.
But the majority of the questions from the media are all about Page and Daley. I'm assuming you would have expected that coming in.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, there's a time and place for everything. Rory McDonald fighting, Paul Daley. Come on, that could be a fight anywhere in the world, man. We would love to have that fight in Canada. I would love to have the fight in San Jose, But we thought it would be appropriate here, and Paul wanted to fight a big fight in his hometown, and something that he could eventually get to the title, because he wants to get back and fight Lima. That's really what he wants. And so I said, well, you got to fight Rory then. And he said, okay, I'll do it. But listen, Paul Daley's not afraid of anybody. MVP's not afraid of anybody. Let's be real. These guys are fighters. So my thing is, we do 20 fights a year. Let that fight simmer a little bit. Let's build that fight up, and then we'll promote it. But I mean, I think you'll see it within the next year or so.
What was Rory's reaction when you presented him with the option of fighting Daley?
I think that he knew that Rory knows that the 170-pound weight class is probably one of the toughest in our company, maybe the toughest in our company. So there's a lot of killers out there, and he's a killer too. So. To me, I think he said, this is my job. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do it. And he also wants to get the title. He wants to go fight Lima at some point. So now he has the pathway to get him there, and it's just Paul's in his way. So it's going to be a great fight on May 19th.
That's about growing the roster. Obviously, you've made it very clear that you're in the market to grow that roster with free agent signings. There's been some relatively high-profile names who. Their contracts haven't been renewed by the UFC. Ryan Bader's obviously a very well-known name that the discussions have been documented. But there's people like Misha Serkinov and Lorenz Larkin, people like that. Are these the sort of people you're looking to bring to Bellator? Are you able to give us any insight on any developments with those guys?
I can tell you this right now. Lorenz Larkin is somebody that we're talking to right now, and I love Lorenz. I mean, I love his fighting style, and put him right in the mix at 170. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. But we're continuing talking. Hopefully, we could get something done with him, because we'd love to have him on our roster.
And the free agent thing doesn't necessarily apply to fighters as well. I know you've picked up some free agent executives as well along the line. One high-profile departure from the UFC is their play-by-play guy, Mike Goldberg. Is he somebody that you're potentially interested in bringing into the Bellator fold?
He's somebody that we're talking to, but. It's and I'm not sure that it's like what's going to happen there, but I know that Goldie reached out, but we have a great play-by-play guy right now in Sean Grande, and but I know that there's a few dates that Sean can't do because he also has commitments with basketball and the Celtics. So I think that Goldie might be a guy that could come in and take some of those dates. But really, it's going to be, I think, based on Sean's schedule and his basketball schedule. But it'd be great. Wouldn't it be great to see Goldie and our guy Jimmy and Chael? I mean, that would be a nice little play-by-play and color commentary team. But like I said, Sean Grande is our guy. He's great, and him and Jimmy and Chael have been a lot of fun to listen to as well. So, but that's going to be, I think, timing on dates and availability of Sean Grande.
Are you close to signing Ryan Bader?
We sent in an offer, and we're waiting to see if the UFC is going to match. That's where it's at.
Mm-hmm. And regarding the 7 to 9 international markets that you're going to be holding events in 2017, you've already announced Italy, obviously the UK, Ireland, Hungary. What other countries can we expect you to break into this year?
We're definitely going to go to South America at some point. So whether it's Brazil or Argentina, we're going to go down to South America and do something really big. Okay. So it's the fight that I have in mind, I think, will be spectacular, and I think that those two territories make a lot of sense.
Scott, just interested to get your take. There seems to be a lot of chatter online as to the recent bouts and them actually not being for real. When you read, when you see, when you hear that, what goes through your mind?
I mean, it's just absolutely rubbish, honestly. And it's insulting as a promoter for 31 years has been in the sport. And I look back and I'm like, who is making the accusation? You know, it's a UFC commentator or a UFC fighter or somebody that belongs to another league, and they're just trying to throw stones. I mean, to me, it's like, look, even Dana came out and said, there's no way that was. I mean, Tito Ortiz is a strong guy, caught Chael in a position where, he tapped him out, and that's it. So why start throwing rocks and stones? And to me, it's like, look, I feel like this. If you're gonna make accusations like that, then you better have something to back it up. And if you don't, go talk to Viacom Legal, because that's where it's at my point. You're gonna make accusations, and to me, it's you're insulting our integrity of our league, and you're insulting my integrity as a fight promoter for 31 years. I mean, we could lose our license. I mean, are we gonna? That's ridiculous. So to me, it's like, you're crossing the line at some point, and I've already turned it over to Viacom Legal to handle it. So.